let's talk for a second about reality, because I am just sitting here putting some dishes in the dishwasher that my teenage son left in the sink. So here's the thing that it made me think. There would have been a time that my reality would have been, that is so disrespectful. He is so irresponsible. Why can't he just clean up after himself? That would have been my thoughts and my feelings, and I would have then engaged with him from that place. It went great, right? I'm sure you can guess that went great. So back up for a second, and I just want to ask you, if you come home, so I came home, my son had been here with a friend. They're 15. They were, hanging out, and they'd had some lunch, and then my son had to leave for work, and I came home, and there's dishes in the sink. I just want you to pause for just a second. What would you have done? How would you have felt? Would you have cared? Would you have thought twice about it? Would you have been annoyed, maybe like I used to be? Would you have been like, oh my gosh, I'm not the maid, what's the deal? And grumbled, or would you have just not thought about it? Would you have just left it for him to clean up? I could have done that. He would have done that when he got back from work. So my point is that reality was that there was dishes in the sink. That's all the reality there was. That's all. Everything else was perception. Everything else was thoughts and feelings and history and past experience and how often does he do his chores without being asked and all of that, right? All of that came into that moment. The reason in the past I would have gone into story about it, I would have made meaning, and I would have perceived that as reality, is I had some thoughts and some feelings and some history to clean up inside me. Did you notice I didn't just say that my son needed to do anything? He's just being a teenager. Pretty normal behavior, right? And also pretty rare for him, honestly, because we do. There are only 3 of us left at home. We're like, okay, everybody clean up your own stuff. And so pretty rare that it even happens. But the point is this situation of this thing he did, I had a ton of power. I didn't always know that, or I didn't always remember that, right? This is what I do when I teach women how to heal their hearts and their relationships. When we go inside and we clean up our thoughts, we clean up our feelings, we clean up the story and the meaning that we make out of things, and we clean that up, what it resulted in is today I walked in, totally tearful, and noticed some dishes in the sink, and I was like, oh, hey, he didn't get his dishes done before he left. We're having friends over for dinner. I'm going to go ahead and throw them in the dishwasher now because I'm going to be doing some cooking and get them out of my way. Didn't mean anything, wasn't annoyed, wasn't bothered. I was happy to serve him. I should do a whole nother reel about that. I used to always be like, you need to learn responsibility. And you know what? He's a super responsible kid. It's not perfect. Always doing everything in the timeline I desire. Lots of nuggets in there, right? But yeah, super responsible kid, super capable, and sorry, I got sidetracked, but having a lot of fun sometimes just doing things like this. He's going to walk in and be like, oh, Mom, thanks so much. He'll notice right away. Be like, thank you for putting my dishes in the sink. I would have done them. I'm like, I know, happy to do it for him. Win in our relationship. He wasn't being disrespectful. He wasn't being irresponsible. There was no meaning to the fact that it didn't say anything about him or me or whether either of us are respected or have worth or anything, because there was a couple dishes in the sink. This is the kind of power that we have when we learn to clean up our stuff. So if you want to know more, actually, I have a quiz for you. It's a free quiz. It's going to help you know your biggest block emotionally. What's keeping you from the closeness in relationships that you really want. Put quiz in the comments. I'll send that over to you. But also follow, subscribe, do all this stuff, because this is the kind of stuff I've been teaching women for 20 years that makes all the difference, that is life-changing. And like I said, healing our hearts, then it goes into healing our relationships. It's such good stuff. And no matter what the situation outside us is, the power of what we do and how we feel is always inside us. I teach you how to do that. I'm here for you. I believe in you. Put quiz in the comments. You got this.